Hello, trading has closed on February 12th, 2024. We always do our disclaimer first, go over our calls, and then make some predictions. It's my trading plan for Tuesday, which is February 13th, 2024. Please trade at your own risk. I can be completely wrong. Look for the pattern with the early high, which is this. It tends to be a rally day with a high in the final hour. Failure is a straight line drop, and that is failure. That's your straight line drop. Should lead to lower prices. The only thing that would kill the idea would be if we gapped and promptly took out these highs, because tomorrow's open can substitute for today's close. It looks pretty unlikely to me, but you never know. We have an optional target at 50.47.51. MEJT likes to leave a failed target at major changes in trend, and I think this could well be one, so I wouldn't rely on that, but we know this is going to print 95% of the time. I think there's a good chance this is the 5%. This is what we said. We didn't gap over Friday's high, so we thought we'd see lower prices, and even though we traded much higher, we did see lower prices. In fact, in spite of a good rally hitting new all-time highs, we closed in the red, which is negative, and also this closes under all these prior highs, which isn't what you want to see when you see new highs print. We had a target 50.17.87. That's this red line right here. It isn't only a target, it's also support, and if that's not one of the most aesthetic, beautiful things you've ever seen in your life, I don't know what is. During the day, MEJT said this strong rally was false. It would be traced to this yellow area, which it did. We got a sell signal in the afternoon. That certainly worked. The optional higher targets, 50.47.51, doesn't have to print. It will print 95% of the time. If it doesn't print tomorrow, we'll forget it. If things go according to plan, it'll fail. Well, as far as the long-term count is concerned, this is our Fibonacci grid. It was a long-term target. In the scheme of things, we came awfully close today. What was the high? 50.48. I mean, you're talking a fraction of a percent of the target I've had for a long time. We said if we broke through this GM fan line, which is from way back here, that wouldn't stick unless we gapped over it, and we traded over it and it didn't stick, so that's played out. This just isn't the type of rejection you want to see at a high. Now, until we get more convincing evidence of a turnaround, I'm kind of reluctant to commit a lot of money to the short side, but ultimately we should see 5,006.81. Doesn't have to print tomorrow, but I think we'll see lower prices if these highs hold, and that isn't all that far away. It's a reasonable place to look for some support. Well, tomorrow's pattern has a yearly high regardless of where we open. Today's normally bullish pattern was not. It should lead to lower prices printing tomorrow, even if we don't close lower. Only promptly overtaking today's high kills the pattern. The new all-time high was followed by a negative close, which undercut numerous prior relative highs. If it's maintained at tomorrow's open, it's a negative pattern. A number of totally unrelated timing systems of other people have this period, even today, as a high. Until we reverse, it's dangerous to commit too much money to the short side, especially since I believe higher prices are coming. With that being said, this has all the elements you need for a top. As far as I'm concerned, all you need is some convincing follow-through, and I think there'll be a lot of room for shorts to make money. But until we turn around, it's a good idea to keep one's powder dry, because there were some other price targets I had that made sense and they didn't hold. So it's a candidate for a top. The time is right, the rejection of the high is right, the daily pattern's failure is right. If this holds, I think we're trading lower, even if we don't close lower, but it wouldn't take too much to send us significantly lower than where we are now, even though I think we're going to trade higher after any decline. It's the pattern tomorrow with the early high. This is negative stuff. We don't reverse it early. I think we're going lower, and that's today's call.